It's Debt-Free Friday time. Hello, my friends. Welcome to another episode of Debt-Free Friday, your favorite financial series here on the big YouTube. But first, if this is your first time watching me, hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Gia, and I'm about to share with you some pretty dumb purchases that I made when I was in my 20s. And I would love for you to join my YouTube family by clicking the subscribe button down below, as well as the little bell next to it. And for those already subscribed, welcome back. Let's talk about these dumb purchases that I made when I was in my 20s, okay? So when you're in your 20s, you think, oh, I have plenty of time to save for my future. Like, you listen to what people are saying, but then you kind of don't. And you kind of just want to live in the moment and live your quote unquote best life, right? I was totally like that in my 20s. I was not of what I like to say, a financially sound mind, okay? Everything was about who can I impress? What can I buy? You know, I want to feel like I am so important. Now, I didn't make like huge detrimental dumb mistakes with my money in my 20s, but I did make a couple of dumb ones. And I will share this. My dad told me some advice when I was in my early 20s that I held on to and still do now for the rest of my life. And what he said was, right now at this age that you are in your early 20s, the decisions that you make right now will affect the rest of your life. And that really resonated with me. So it made me think like, okay, well, I don't want to like make huge detrimental mistakes that affect the rest of my life, but it's true. The decisions that you make in your early 20s or around that time where you're really trying to define your life, it will affect you for the rest of your life.
No pressure there, right?
But yeah, something with that really resonated with me. Anybody who's watching this who's in their 20s, really take the time to think about all the decisions you make, especially financially, because that doesn't only mean financially. I mean, it can mean your health, it can mean your just your overall life. So but today we're just going to be talking about 5 dumb mistakes that I made in my 20s, and then I'll talk about maybe in another video some of the smarter decisions that I made with my money in my 20s. Okay, number 1, the first mistake that I made in my 20s was I bought a whole life insurance plan. And at the time, I really honestly didn't know what it was. And this is something that I agree with Dave Ramsey wholeheartedly on. And I don't agree with everything that Dave Ramsey says when it comes to investing, but how he feels about whole life insurance is exactly how I feel. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, basically whole life insurance, they sell it to you like you are building a cash value for yourself. You have insurance health insurance for your whole life, which isn't a bad thing, but it can be. But then you build these cash reserves that you really don't even end up getting at the end of your whole life term. Anyway, I'm not trying to go down that rabbit hole. I will leave links in the description box if you want to read more about it. But essentially, when you start living a debt-free life and you make really good financial decisions, you really don't need whole life insurance. You need term life insurance. It's not the best way to make investments for your money. I feel like insurance should just be to cover you and your finances if and when you pass away, so that your family doesn't have to take that burden on, you know? So I do agree with Dave Ramsey. Again, I will leave links for that down below, but that was definitely the first mistake I made. You know, I felt like I was doing something smart, but a lot of these financial advisors that you go to kind of sell you just whatever's best for their company. And so for me, I got suckered, and it was whole life insurance. So be mindful of that. Really take your time to do the research and read about what you're trying to invest in before you jump the gun. Sometimes it can be overwhelming, and I understand, I get it, but really take the time to educate yourself. You can do it. There are plenty of courses out there. There's plenty of literature out there that you can read to help you understand. As a matter of fact, I have an investment course that I sell myself for people who know nothing about the stock market. I will leave a link for that in the description box. Number 2, this will probably surprise you guys, but this house, it was a financial mistake. Now, okay, I take that back. I wouldn't say it was a financial mistake, but I wasn't as financially intelligent as I am now that I was back then. Now, financially, this house was a great investment. My husband and I bought it when the housing market crashed. We got it for an exceptional price, but it's a huge house. Like, I was not thinking about the overall maintenance of taking care of a house that's this big and cleaning a house that's this big and trying to keep a house this big uncluttered. It's a lot of work, and you just don't think about that. Like when I was in my 20s, I'm like,
oh, I want a nice big house. I don't care.
Even though we could afford the house, because like I said, we got it at such a great deal, I just wasn't thinking about anything else. I wasn't thinking about heating and cooling the house. I wasn't thinking about cleaning the house. I wasn't thinking about keeping the house decluttered. Like I wasn't thinking about any of that. I was just thinking about right now, right then, I have a beautiful house. It's awesome, And if you're in your 20s and you're wanting to buy a house, you have to think about your life, how you go through these phases. Like it could be a phase that you're in. So don't rush to try to buy a house. I mean, I think home ownership is important for everyone, but you want to really take your time and think about what kind of house you want to buy, what kind of house you can afford long term, and really make good decisions. Like get yourself a 15-year mortgage. Don't max out the full amount that they're going to offer you to borrow for a house. Really, really take your time and figure out what you're going to be able to afford for the next 15 years. Get a 15-year mortgage. Please get a 15-year mortgage if you can, and you will be thanking yourself in the future. Number 3, I bought my car brand spanking new. Okay, I bought my car brand new in 2005. You cannot tell me anything, honey, with my brand new Jeep Cherokee, okay? Like I said, this was before I really started educating myself about living a debt-free life, before I was influenced by Dave Ramsey and Susie Orman, like before Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Like I wanted a brand new car, because I cared so much about what other people thought. I still have the same car that I drive. Obviously, I got my money's worth, but will I ever buy another brand new car? Absolutely not. I will buy a car that's new to me, and I will pay cash for the car. I think I put a little bit down on that car, but I had a car note that was expensive and totally not worth it. And I could have done so much more with that money, other than paying for a car that I'm not going to spend that much time in. Okay, you need to in your 20s, the biggest thing that you need to do is you need to stop caring what other people think or trying to impress people that don't care about you. Let me say that one more time for the people in the back.
Stop caring what other people think about you.
Make your financial goals, make good financial decisions, regardless of what kind of car you live in, what kind of house you live in. You want to build wealth for yourself. Your future self and your future family will thank you, okay? So build wealth, not a really nice car, a really nice purse collection, a really nice wardrobe, things that you think impress people. But when you get older, that stuff comes and goes, and that's not something that impresses me. Something that impresses me is people who are building wealth, investing, saving, and a lot of times you can't see that from the outside. You see that when you build relationships with people. So trust me, don't get on that brand new car wagon. It's not worth it. Keep driving your car until the wheels fall off, and save cash for your next car purchase. Number 4 was living in a luxury apartment when I was in my early 20s. Right when I got out of school, I wanted to live in a really nice neighborhood so I could say I lived in this neighborhood, and I paid an astronomical amount of money in rent, which was just crazy to me. I think about how I could have saved all that money if I would have lived with my parents, if I would have gotten a roommate, or if I would have lived in a cheaper area, a nice area, but something that was cheaper. It would have helped so much. You could have saved that money. You think, oh, I have my whole life to save, but really it's easier for you if you start those habits right now, regardless of your age. If you're in your early 20s or if you're in your 20s at all, start right now. Okay, because I think when you get in your 30s, you start to realize and understand, okay, well, I really do need to save. You see how fast your 20s go, and how fast time flies by, especially after you have children. So you really realize that you need to save. But trust me, save right now. Okay, and if you don't know how to save, if you don't know how to budget, because that's another thing, that detrimental mistake as a bonus I'll give you, that I did not budget at all. I just paid my bills and spent the rest of my money, which was silly. That's just crazy, okay? Everybody needs a budget, regardless of what your income is. If you have no idea how to budget or what kind of budget to have, I definitely suggest a zero-based budget. You can download my free Excel template in the description box. Download it, educate yourself. There's a video that comes with it that shows you how to use it for free, and start budgeting. Start realizing where your money goes. You tell your money where to go instead of your money dictating what you can and cannot do. Okay, that's what a budget gives you, that kind of power. So I encourage you to start budgeting if you haven't, and to save your money. Okay, it doesn't matter where you live. As long as you're safe and you have a roof over your head, it really doesn't matter. Okay, don't care what other people think. Some people think when you start budgeting, that means you're broke. No, that's not true. Every major corporation in this globe has a budget. Every business has a budget, and you need to have a budget. You need to start treating your finances as if it was a business. Know what's coming in, know what's going out, and know what you're saving. It's that simple. So definitely download that free zero-based budget template in the description box. Number 5, I know y'all been waiting. This right here. Now, my husband, I am not a purse person, at least not now. Like, I'm just not into it. I'm not into shoes like that. Like, I'm just pretty basic when it comes to that kind of stuff. But my husband and I, we traveled for our 1-year anniversary, which, by the way, we have been married for 10 years. But for our 1-year anniversary, we went to Europe. We went to Paris. We went to the Louis Vuitton store, the flagship store. It was absolutely beautiful. And my husband bought me this bag. Now, first of all, I want to say this. Anybody who's into bags, if you live a debt-free life and you save and pay cash for these bags, girl, do you. There's nothing wrong. I'm not saying that this purse is ugly or that the brand is horrible. No, I'm just saying that we should not have made such an extravagant purchase when we were still in debt at that time. We really shouldn't have even been traveling like that, but we did because, you know, we had 2 incomes, we had no kids, like we were just living our best lives, not even thinking about the future or our financial future. So my husband bought me this purse, and I really literally just wanted it because it was Louis Vuitton. It was Louis Vuitton. I wanted Louis Vuitton. I wanted to be somebody. I don't even wear this purse often. I probably use it maybe once, twice a year if we go someplace really nice for dinner. And even if when we do go someplace really nice for dinner, I don't always pick this up. But, you know, it's just, when I look back at it, it was just silly. You know, I don't feel like, I shouldn't have felt like I had to buy it. And then I wanted to share with you how much it was. It was, let's see, I still have the receipt and everything because it was such a huge purchase. It was 360 euros, which at the time equated to $469.91 for a purse. Okay, like, I just, you know, even now, my husband and I are completely consumer debt free. You can hear more about our story about how we did that by tapping this eye right here. I don't even know if I would buy a purse like this, you know, only because I'm not into purses. But if you are into purses and you make good financial decisions and you save your money and you pay cash for it, but you're not getting yourself in debt for this, go for it. But we were not debt free, and there was no need for me to buy a $500 purse just to incur more debt. You know what I mean? So that had to have been one of the dumbest purchases that I made, or that we made, my husband and I, when I was in my 20s. So that's it. Leave a comment down below and let me know, what was the dumbest purchase you made in your 20s? And if you're in your 20s, do you feel like you've made any dumb financial purchases? Leave a comment down below and let me know. Let's have a conversation about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, you can tap my picture up above, and you can also check out my previous video right over here, and all of my social media platforms all listed down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.